canto, it like first chapter is like introduction, where 3 verses glorified Srimad Bhagavatam. Then the setting is described where it's Naimisharanya. So the sages, so the Shaunaka Rishi is there asking. So the Goswami about different questions. So they asked what is ultimate good for all people, what is the essence of all the scriptures, why Lord Krishna has appeared. We want to hear about him. Describe about Lord's activities. We are not satisfied in hearing. And where did Dharma took shelter after Krishna's departure? So like that they asked several questions. And Sutta Goswami is replying in his second chapter. So before replying, he is taking shelter of Sukadeva Goswami, who is the guru of Sutta Goswami. And in this, while taking shelter, similarly, every speaker also Sukadeva Goswami is such a great soul that he can enter into the hearts of everyone. So anyone who is speaking Srimad Bhagavatam also can take shelter of Sukadeva Goswami so that he can speak nicely. And he has spoken very nicely this Bhagavatam so that it can relieve all the people from suffering and also give prema. And invocation verses Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudirya. This is like invocation, offering obeisances. Then he expressed that your questions are very nice. Then he said that the Paro Dharma, the supreme Dharma, it should be that unmotivated devotional service which will give rise to bhakti. That should be uninterrupted and unmotivated. So Hayatuki Apradhyata, and by that it completely satisfies the self, completely satisfies the mind. So when one performs such type of devotional service, it automatically generates causeless knowledge and detachment. So knowledge here means knowledge in relation to the Supreme Lord, His form, His qualities, all that knowledge will be developed by devotional service. And detachment from anything which is opposed to that bhakti will be developed by performing bhakti. And Varnashrama Dharma is not Paro Dharma, but if it does not produce any attraction for Krishna Kada, it is not useful. So, but it should ultimately all Varnashrama should lead to the attraction for hearing Krishna Kada. And all the occupational duties that are ultimately should be aimed for liberation. So one should only maintain healthy life, and he should inquire about absolute truth rather than aiming for sense gratification and the other things. So therefore, what is that absolute truth that he needs to perceive? So that is mentioned as Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Shaktate. So Brahman, Paramatman, Bhagavan are the three terms for the same absolute truth. According to the practitioner, he will realize these three successfully. And so therefore you practice that bhakti, bhakti along with accompanied by practicing bhakti, jnana and vairagya will come. So with that you can realize this absolute truth. So like that we have seen. Now we will continue our discussion, where he is saying that Atah Kumbir Dvijashreshta Varnashrama Vibhagasha Swanishtitah Swanishtitahsya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. So here Sutta Goswami is saying that Varnashram Dharma, the purpose of Varnashram Dharma is that the highest perfection that can be achieved by following Varnashram Dharma is to please the Lord. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. The perfection of Varnashram Dharma, when one is following, that perfection is reached when he is able to please Lord Hari. So that is how Varnashrama Dharma should ultimately lead to pleasing Lord Hari. So that is actually the purpose of our Varnashram, all those things. So that one should try to see that all his duties are ultimately leading him to please Lord Hari. So therefore, having described that bhakti is the best which will satisfy the heart, completely satisfy the soul and heart and mind, everything will be completely satisfied by following bhakti. So therefore, he is concluding a section with तस्मादेकेन मनसा भगवान् सात्वतां पतिः श्रोतव्यः कृतितव्यश्च देयः पूज्यश्च नित्यदा. So therefore, with one pointed attention, you meditate on Bhagavan, who is the shelter or the husband or the master of devotees. He should be Shrotavya, he should be heard, he should be glorified, and he should be meditated, and daily he should be worshipped, Nityada. So in this way, he is like concluding that one should always try to worship the Lord. So how that? So therefore, by meditating on the Lord, what will happen? Yad anutyasina yukta karma grandhi nibandhanam. By meditating on the Lord, all the karmas, karma grandhi, which is like reactionary results from the karma, those all will be cut karmic knots. So all suffering will go away. So chindanti, all these things will be away. Kovidastasya kovana kurya kadartham. Therefore, expert men who will not hear, who will not pay attention to his message. So therefore, it's like it removes all the karma. So therefore, it is one should pay attention to his messages. So then next he describes in stages of bhakti. He describes where very famous shlokas will come, like the daily that we hear, those shlokas will come. Share that. So Shushrusho Shraddhadanasya Vasudeva Kadaruchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevana. So what the person by like if one serves great devotees, Sushru Syan Mahat Sevaya. So who are these Mahat Sevaya means pure devotees who are completely freed from all vice. So by serving them, great service is done. So by that service, one will gain affinity for hearing the messages. So one will develop Vasudeva Kadaruchi. So Vasudeva Kadaruchi will develop by the serving great devotees, Mahat Sevaya. So this this is where the progress of devotional service is mentioned. So in general, how bhakti comes in one's life. So that is given by Acharya Krishna Chakravarti and others. That generally bhakti only comes by bhakti. It will not come by any other process. So, but bhakti will come by bhakti means only from the bhakti of others that a person receives bhakti. It will not develop by performing karma, or it will not develop by jnana. So it will only come by the bhakti in the heart of other devotees. That's how bhakti starts. So bhakti starts with Mahat Seva. So that Mahat Seva means service to devotees. But how does that service to devotees happen? That happen by their own causeless mercy of the devotees. So those devotees, they provide opportunity for service. That is their Satam Krupa, or they want to do some favor, and therefore they try to approach people. So that is like Satam Krupa, and that by that when they are pleased with someone by their service or something, that is like Mahat Seva, service to devotees. So by that some Shraddha will develop to him. Faith in performing bhakti will be developed by serving devotees. So after developing that faith, he takes shelter at the feet of Guru. So he will approach Guru and take shelter. So these four stages are indicated in this verse. So basically, Vasudeva Kataruchi Syan Mahatsevya, by performing Mahatseva, by rendering service to pure devotees, the taste for hearing will appear, and that Mahaseva will happen by their own mercy, basically. And by that Mahatseva, he develops Shraddha. So Shraddha, faith in performing devotional service. Then he takes shelter of Punya Tirtha Nishevana. He takes shelter of a guru. And he is Sushrusho. Because of that, he starts performing hearing. So all these 5 stages are mentioned in this shloka. So then when he starts hearing, what will happen? This is like all anarthas will go away. Shrunvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantasto hi avadrani vidunoti suritsatam. So one who is hearing the Krishna Kada, Shrunatam Swakada Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. These are all these hearing and chanting that is like punya. They are very, very virtuous. So therefore, by performing that, Hridayantasto hi avadrani vidunoti suritsatam. Krishna personally is entering into the hearts and he is clearing he is cleansing the heart of those people. So he is like he personally is there and helping devotees to clear away all the anarthas. So that's what will happen. So this is the stage of anartha nivritti. So basically, when one starts perform bhakti, so when he takes shelter of Guru Padashraya, so initially there is a stage called as Bhajanesha Spruha. That means he wanted to perform worship. So he will not be able to perform worship, but he has desire to perform bhajan. So even before performing any sadhana bhakti, or before, like some, for example, we can also see many devotees, they will go. And initially they gain some appreciation for the process. And they start hearing and start like they have little faith, but they will not immediately start bhakti, but they develop initially the eagerness to that bhakti. That means there is spruha, there is some desire. Oh, I also want to practice that bhakti. So that is also a stage basically. So after that, then he actually starts practicing bhakti. So that means before start practicing bhakti, there is a spruha, there is I want to perform, like that one. Little feeling will be there. So then after when that is little bit grown, then he starts practicing bhakti. So once he starts practicing bhakti, then slowly the different anarthas that are there, they will go away. Anartha apagamam, so disappearance of obstacles. So this stage is actually quite long. So generally these stages may appear little fast, but anartha nivritti will take some time for the sadhakas. So when one seriously starts hearing Krishna Kada, which is like Punya Shravana Kirtana, so Krishna is already there in one's heart. So he will personally cleanse all the means he destroys the sins in the heart, means the tendencies, the wrong tendencies which obstruct bhakti, he will destroy. So therefore, this is referring to anartha nivritti. So next step. So in this way he progresses, and then by progressing in the nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttam shloke bhaktir bhavati next. So this is a famous shloka that we every time recite in Bhagavatam classes. So what is this shloka is saying that when he is regularly hearing those abhadras, those unwanted things, they will go away by performing nityam bhagavata sevaya, by regularly hearing Srimad, serving Bhagavata, by regularly Bhagavatam, serving Bhagavatas. So this Bhagavata is like can be 2 times. One is like book Bhagavata, person Bhagavata. So book Bhagavata is Bhagavatam where we are reading, and person Bhagavata is one who is following book Bhagavatam. So by doing that, Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So his bhakti towards the Supreme Lord Uttama Shloka, that will become fixed. Nishta. So previous to that, in Ananta Nivritti stage, he will not be able to perform steadily bhakti. Sometimes he will be able to perform many, like he will be able to perform, sometimes he is very seriously focused, sometimes he is not at all focused and doesn't have any enthusiasm to perform. So these up and downs will go on. So as long as anarthas are there, as long then when anartha starts reducing, his bhakti will become naishtiki, means he will be situated in nishta, means steadily he will be able to practice bhakti. Prabhupada writes that by regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam. Nityam Bhagavad Seva, he says that by attending Bhagavad classes and by rendering service to the pure devotee, Bhagavad Seva can also imply service to pure devotee. All that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. So nashta prayasha bhadreshu. And loving service unto the Lord is established, who is praised by with transcendental shlokas, Uttam Shloka, is established as an irrevocable fact. So basically his sadhana will become little steady. So that is what this verse is saying. So nishta, steadiness means he regularly will be able to perform bhakti without much ups and downs. So this is the stage of nishta he is talking. Then continuing to perform in that nishta stage, what will happen? So then what will happen is tada rajastamo bhava kama lobhadayasche chetayete ranavidam stitam sattve prasidati. So by continuing to perform steadily that devotional service, the rajogun and tamogun, all these situations which are there in one's heart, they kama lobhadayasche, which is like having lust and lobha is desire and hankering, all these things, they will disappear from the heart. Chetayete ranavidam. So therefore, he will be Sthitam Sattve Prasidati. He will be situated in goodness and he will become Prasidati and becomes completely happy. So this sloka is saying that he will be freed from all these lower tendencies by practicing bhakti steadily. So which lower tendencies in the form of anger, illusion, lust, greed, all those things, which basically they will come from Rajagun and Tamagun. So that means he doesn't have any taste for material things, but he is relishing the bhakti process. So therefore, this stage where Rajogun and Tamogun is reduced, that implies this is Ruchi stage. That means he is actually relishing hearing and chanting and other processes. So in the previous to that, even in Nishta and previous stages, there are still lust, greed, etc., all the negative tendencies. But when now all these things by steady practice they were gone away, so therefore he is satisfied. So because he has achieved taste for chanting and other processes. So after this, when the mind becomes fixed in that state, in the Supreme Lord, the state of goodness or Titam Sattve are fixed in the Supreme Lord, he is like completely prasidati, he is completely satisfied. So this is the stage of asakti. So asakti means like after ruchi, ruchi means he enjoys the process of bhakti, he derives a lot of happiness by performing chanting or performing deity worship or other activities, perform hearing and all those things. Asakti means his attachment towards the Lord will improve. So here he is ruchi state, he is attached to the process. In asakti, his attachment for the Lord will increase. Firm attachment will be there. So this shloka is talking about asakti. So he is completely satisfied. So once he is satisfied, when he is in this way continue to perform bhakti, what will happen? Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogatah bhagavad tattva vijnana mukta sangasya jayate. So in this enlivened mode, when he is performing bhakti and he attains Bhagavad Tattva Vijnana. So he attains Bhagavad Bhakti Yogatah. He is attaining he has attained Rati, and that is like Bhava. And Evam Prasanna Manaso, that implies that he has attained Bhava stage. And with that he Prema will develop. Bhagavad Bhakti Yogatah. Bhagavad Bhakti Yoga is implying Prema he develops. So then by that Prema, he attains Bhagavad Tattva Vijnana. So Bhagavad Tattva Vijnana implies he experiences Lord's form, qualities, pastimes, powers, and sweetness. So all those things will be revealed once he attains Prema. And as a side effect, he will be relieved from all the contamination of material things. Mukta Sangasya Jayate. Means as a side effect, he is freed from all the material associations, means liberated. So these are the stages that are explained as asakti. From asakti, he developed rati. Rati is also like bhava, and then prema, and then after prema, sometimes he gets the vision of the Lord. So that is called the darshanam. So that he is attaining here in this stage. So in this material association. So then, will by that he is able to, all the doubts will go away. Vidyate hridaya granthis. All the thoughts in the heart, they are peaced. Chidyante sarva samshaya. All his doubts are cut into pieces. And kshiyante chasya karma. All the chain of root actions is terminated. Drushta evatmani ishvare. When he perceives himself as a master, or he perceives seeing the Lord. So, like means he is completely experiencing the uh, Lord in his personal form. So therefore, all karmas everything is destroyed. So Vridyate Hridaya Granthis implies is ignorance is also cut and all doubts are destroyed. So in this way, he is completely attained. So these are the 14 stages that are mentioned here. So I will recap these 14 stages. So then Prema, Darshan, and Harer Madhuryanu Bhava. He is directly experiencing Lord Hari's sweetness. So this is how the bhakti progresses in general for any person. That means he will attain bhakti only by the mercy of the devotees. Only with the sadhu sangha one attains bhakti, not by any other processes, anyone in this world. And so that is why Satam Drupadeir causeless mercy, and by performing service to them, he will attain little Shraddha, and by that Shraddha he will take shelter of Guru, and he will develop eagerness to worship, and then start actually worshipping. Bhakti he starts. Because of that, anarthas will slowly go away. Till the time anarthas are there, his bhakti will be oscillating. Sometimes he performs high level bhakti, sometimes he cannot perform bhakti. So all these oscillations will be there. But once anarthas reduces, then he will be able to steadily practice his bhakti. So that is nishtha. So then after steadily practicing bhakti, he will develop taste for the Lord. Taste means here, even before also taste will be there, but here ruchi taste means continuous taste. So whatever activities bhakti is performing, he will continually able to taste the Lord's the process of bhakti. and by that he develops firm attachment for the Lord, asakti. Then with that firm attachment, he develops bhava, fondness, and through that he develops finally prema. So in prema also, after progressing further, he will develop vision of the Lord and he experiences the Hari's Lord, Hari's sweetness. So this is the progression of the a sadhaka bhakta is mentioned. So for all these to happen, devotee has to have anyabhilashta shunyam jnana karmadi anavata. His progress, his bhakti is to be having no other desire than to develop bhakti, and it should not be obstructed by jnana and karma. So that pure devotional service, when one is practicing, then all these stages he will develop. So after explaining these things, then the Lord, the Sutta Goswami, he starts explaining that after the process of bhakti is explained, now he explains that what needs to be practiced. So amongst the Gunavataras, Vishnu is to be worshipped. So that means there are like it is clear that one needs to perform bhakti rather than jnana and karma and other processes. Now he explains that whom to perform. So that is Vishnu needs to be worshipped. So that is where here, Ato, why? So therefore he is mentioning that therefore one will perform always bhakti with very happiness to Vasudeva, to Supreme Lord Vasudeva, they will perform. And what are the different he so there are incarnations of Lord Vishnu, like there are like many, like there are many incarnations of Krishna. So some incarnations they are like they will not, they are like situated in pure goodness. So they are the incarnations of like Matsya, Kurma. So they are all direct incarnations of the Lord, avatars of the Lord. So those needs to be worshipped. And there are also other incarnations of the Lord which are like Gunavataras, that is called. So those Gunavataras, like sometimes like Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, which the Lord the accept according to Lord by taking in touch with the modes, we will take these Gunavataras. They are called as Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva. So out of these three, one the devotees will achieve best results. They worship Lord Vishnu, who is situated in Shuddha Sattva. So that is what in this section he is mentioning that one should always perform the worship to Lord Vishnu, Bhagavan, not to others. So that is what this section is especially saying, that it compares one analogy where it will give that the fire is said to be the more superior to smoke and dull wood. So similarly, Sattvaguna is said to be superior to Rajoguna and Tamoguna, because in Sattvaguna one realizes knowledge. So therefore, all the great sages previously, they only worship the Supreme Lord Adhokshaja, who is always situated in Sattvaguna. So that is what one will benefit more. So therefore, one should perform worship to Supreme Lord. One should reject all the other Gora Rupas, ghastly forms, and also one should not criticize those devatas. One should not be envious of other devatas, but they should worship the avatars of Lord Vishnu, avatars of Narayana. So in this way, the best thing they will attain. So and the people when in this way, when perform worship of Krishna, it's mentioned that because why one needs to perform worship to Krishna, is mentioned that Vasudeva is the ultimate goal of everything in this world. So Vasudeva Paraveda, Vasudeva Paramaka, Vasudeva Parayoga, Vasudeva Parakriya, Vasudeva Paramjnana, Vasudeva Parantapa, Vasudeva Parodharma, Vasudeva Parogati. So everything, the Vedas, the sacrifices, yoga, Kriya, Jnana, Tapa, Dharma, all these things, for them, the ultimate goal of all of them is Vasudeva only. He is the purport of the Vedas, he is the object of all sacrifices, and he is for yoga and all other activities, they are all dependent on Vasudeva. And Bhakti is also dependent on Vasudeva. So therefore, all the Gati, the ultimate destination, they are all depending upon Vasudeva. So therefore, one should perform service or worship to Vasudeva. So the object of worship Vasudeva is made it clear. And that Lord, then he starts explaining about Purushavasaras. So Purushavasaras means the three incarnations of the Lord are there, which will act in this world, in connection to this world. So they are said to be Karanodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. They are also sometimes called as three super souls. So their nature is that Karanodakshaya Vishnu means the Lord in the Vaikuntha, he expands himself in the Karanodaka ocean as Karanodakshaya Vishnu. So that means there is a Karana ocean that is situated outside Viraja. So there, which is like apart from the spiritual world, the Lord is staying in Karana ocean. So there, in that Karana ocean, Lord is lying as Karanodakshaya Vishnu. From him, so many different andas, so many material universes will come. And in those material universes, he fills those material universes with water, and he again enters into each of those material universes as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. He fills half of this universe with water, and he enters as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. From him, his navel, a lotus will come, and Brahma will appear there. And with that navel, that lotus stem becomes 14 planetary systems in this world. So, and the same Garbhodakshaya Vishnu again expands as Kshirodakshaya Vishnu in everyone's heart as Paramatma. So, and he is also situated in one of the lokas in these 14 planetary systems. So that's how these three Vishnus, they are responsible for functioning of this whole material world. So that's why they are called as three super souls. So their activities, he starts describing that he is devoid of any material gunas. He is there. He is the one who created this universe, which has all the material gunas and which has from all the causes and effects. So causes and effects is a common terminology that will be used. That means cause and effect. So there is a cause, from them one effect will come. So that means, for example, mud is there. Mud is the cause from which the pot has arisen. Or pot has arisen. So pot is said to be effect. Through mud, one will make pot, right? So mud is transformed into pot. So mud is said to be cause, pot is said to be effect. So similarly, this whole material world is created from the energy of the Lord called as Prakriti or Pradhana, which transforms into 24 elements and it creates. So all this process of creation is elaborately described in second and third cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, but the root cause of all this creation is Karanodakshaya Vishnu. So, and the Lord, he is entered into this material world as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and he created all these things. So that is explained, all these natures. He is there as Paramatma in everyone, living entities, all the 24 elements, and he is the one who makes the jivas enjoy their sense objects through gunas. So in this way, the same Garbhodaksha Vishnu, he takes different incarnations in this material world, in this uh, different in this material world in the 14 planetary systems. So he basically, and why he appears? He appears in order to reclaim those in the mode of goodness. So real avatars, they appear in order to deliver the people. So that is why that is the reason why he appears in this world. So all those Leela incarnations of the Lord, they are described in this chapter. So before describing Leela Avataras, again he describes these activities of Purushas, where the Purushas again Karnadakshai Vishnu expanding himself as a Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and from him a navel, a lotus will come, and Brahmaji appears there, and he began to manifest the universes. And the Lord's body is imagined to be there is one Virat Purusha which is like manifesting these 14 planetary systems. So these are said to be the part of the Lord, but Lord is actually he is completely transcendental, and that universe, material universe, is material. That Virat Purusha is not his original form. His form is Sattoguna. And he from Garbhodaka Shai Vishnu, all the different incarnations in this world, they will appear. So all those incarnations, they are mentioned one by one this chapter. There are many incarnations which will come throughout Bhagavatam. They are described in brief in this chapter. So initially, the Lord has appeared as sons of Kumara, sons of Brahma, as 4 Kumaras. And these 4 Kumaras, Brahma sons, they underwent austerities, severe austerities to realize the Supreme Lord. Then he appeared as Lord Varahadev. So Varahadev, especially for the welfare of all the people, he lifted Mother Earth and delivered the people. And then he appeared as Naranarayana Rishis, among the Devatas. He appeared as Naranarayana Rishis, who they are like they are famous for their tapasya and control of the senses. And he also appeared as Narada Muni, so he is an empowered incarnation of the Lord. He is especially famous for propagating bhakti, so and which delivers all the people. So that is like Narada. So Narada is also in this list of incarnations. There are also the Shaktavesha avatars that are mentioned. Shaktavesha avatara means a particular living entity is empowered by the Shakti of the Lord. So he is called as Shaktavesha avatara. So Narada is especially, he is empowered with the power of devotional service to propagate. So that is Narada Muni. And then he also appeared as Dattatreya and Kapila. So Dattatreya and Kapila, they are famous for giving knowledge. So Dattatreya and Kapila, they are especially famous for giving knowledge. So Kapila Dev instructions especially, they are more elaborately described in Bhagavatam, the 3rd canto, where he teaches to Mother Devahuti. And then Dattatreya, his teachings also will come, but his name is not directly mentioned. But in 11th canto, one person teaches knowledge to Yadu, so that knowledge is given. So that is that 24 gurus concept. So that person is said to be Dattatreya. And then Yajna, he appears as Yajna. Yajna is the son of Ruchi and Akuti. So he appeared in order to protect Swayambhu Manu. So this is, and he appeared as Rishabhadev, the son of Meru Devi and Nabi, from Nabi. So he especially, he is instructed his sons, Bharat Maharaj, and others. The instructions are given in this canto. And then he appeared as Prutu. Prutu is also Satyavesh avatar. So he milked the herbs from earth, Mother Earth, and therefore provided food grains and other things for all the people. So he is also one of the avatara. And he appeared as Matsya Avatara at the period of Chakshushamanu, and he protected Vaivashvatamanu, and he carried a boat, and he tied the boat with his horn on the Matsya, and he saved all these rishis. And while doing that, he also gave knowledge. So Matsya Avatara. Then he appeared as the Samudramantan pastime, has so many avatars of the Lord that has appeared in the Samudramantan Leela. So the tortoise, the Kurma avatara, it acted like a base when Samudramantan Devatas, they are chanting the Mandara mountain. So Kurma avatar is so large that although Mandara mountain is moving, the such huge mountain, he felt that his itching sensation is satisfied. So like that, some description comes. And he also appeared as Dhanvantari when Amruta has come. Dhanvantari has come with a pot and delivered that Dhanvantari. And he also, in the same Samudramantan Leela, when all the Rakshasas, they are trying to drink this Amruta, he appeared as Mohini Murti and bewildered all the Rakshasas. So, bewildered the demons. And then he appeared as Narsimhadev, he killed Hiranyakashipu. And he appeared as Vamana, and he took the land from Balidev by asking 3 steps. Then he appeared as Parashurama, and he became very angry with all the Kshatriyas who were harassing the Brahmanas. And 21 times he annihilated the Kshatriyas from there. And he appeared as Vyasadeva, and he because in this years people are very less intelligent, he divided the Vedas into several parts. And he also appeared as Lord Rama. He also appeared as Lord Rama, and he performed so many actions like controlling ocean, like that. And he also appeared as Krishna and Balaram. So Krishna and Balaram, when they are being described, that is the word used is Bhagavan. So he is the Bhagavan, and they are especially arrived to relieve the burden of the earth. And they also in Kali Yuga, they other incarnations, Buddha and Kalki, that is mentioned. So he in Kali Yuga, when it starts, the Buddha, who is son of Anjana, he will appear in the province of Gaya for bewildering the demons. So when Buddha incarnation comes, the Bhagavatam uses the future tense. So that means at the time of writing Srimad Bhagavatam, Buddha is future tense, but now we know that Buddha has appeared. So that's again gives the testimony for the Bhagavatam's authentic knowledge. And at the end of Kali Yuga, which is again 4 lakh years are there still, the Lord will appear as Kalki, and because at that time all the people, they became like criminals. So he will be born as the son of Vishnu Yasha, and he will deliver the people at that time and establish Satyuga again. So in this way, so many incarnations names are given, but this list is not exhaustive. There are more incarnations which are not mentioned in this list, like Hamsa Avatara is there, the Hayagriva incarnation is there, which is not mentioned. So this list is not exhaustive. In fact, it is mentioned that the avatars of the Lord are like Asankyeha, and there are unlimited avatars that are coming from the Lord, who is Sattva Nidher Bija. He is the treasure house of pure goodness. Just like Yata Avidasana Kulya Sarasasya Sahasra, just like from a big lake is there, from there so many small rivers will come. So like that, there are so many incarnations of the Lord. Not everything is explained like that is mentioned. It's because he appears in so many universes, so many different Manvantaras are there, and Yoga avatars are there. So all are not mentioned. So the all these, therefore it is mentioned, so many incarnations are there. So after mentioning incarnations, he also mentioned that vibhutis of the Lord, so the rishis, manus, devatas, different descendants, they are all also the vibhutis of the Lord. They are all the empowered personalities by the Lord. They are all said to be vibhutis. So in this way, after mentioning all these things, he concludes with saying that Etecha Amsha Kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Rudayanti Yuge Yuge. So this is said to be the Paribhasha Sutra of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Paribhasha Sutra is a special sutra where it comes in the beginning of it comes in the beginning of a scripture, and it will guide the entire scripture. So the Paribhasha statement, it's situated in one place, but it lights up the whole scripture, just as a lamp lights up the whole house. Lamp lights up the whole house. That means in one corner, one place there may be light in our house, but that lights up the whole room. So similarly, this Paribhasha Sutra will be situated in one place, but it directs the whole scripture. So this word, this one phrase, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, it indicates that all the incarnations that are mentioned previously, he is mentioning that they are all Amsha Kala Pumsa. They are all expansions of the Pumsa. Pumsa is Purushavatara. But Krishna is not expansion of Purushavataras. He is Bhagavan Swayam. He is original personality of Godhead. He is not the incarnation of the Purusha. So that means Krishna is the origin and all others are his expansions. So that's what this shloka is saying. So this is Paribhasha Sutra, and anything which is agreeing with this shloka, with this sutra, that will be explained. And any sutra, any other shloka which may be contradictory, may appear to be contradicting this shloka, needs to be explained according to the Paribhasha Sutra. So that's why it is said that this is the Paribhasha Sutra, which will guide the entire scripture. So Indra and all these incarnations, they will come whenever Indra and others, they are troubled by their enemies. In order to save them, all these incarnations will come and save. But Krishna is the original personality. So this Krishna's original personality is being established here. So, and so here Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam is used. The word especially tu is used. So that means he is like while listing the incarnations, he listed Krishna in the list of incarnations. But he is little apprehensive that, oh, I have listed Krishna also as one of the incarnation of the Purushavatara. But Krishna's position is not incarnation of Purusha. Therefore, he is again repeating this verse, saying that Krishna's too, but all these are incarnation of Purusha, but except Krishna or but Krishna, he is actually Bhagavan Swayam. He is not incarnation. He is the original personality of Godhead. So that's where he is clarifying. So in the philosophical context, it came. So therefore, he is Bhagavan Swayam, the basis of every other form. So that means he is even superior to even Purushavataras. And he is also superior to even Mahanarayana. So therefore, he is the original personality. And this is also
you said superior to
Purushavataras and even to Mahanarayana also.
So superior to Purushavatar.
Yeah.
Purushavatar is what?
Okay. So Purushavatara is that, like, there are expansions if you go by Bhagavatam. Originally, according to Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, Krishna is the original personality who is residing in Goloka, and that Goloka has three components, like Shvetadvipa, we can say maybe Goloka, Vrindavan kind of part, and Mathura and Dwaraka, where Krishna is existing. So that same Krishna, he expands himself into Narayana forms. So those are in Vaikuntha Lokas. So Chaturvyuha that expands into Narayana forms. In that Vaikuntha, Mahanarayana and others exist. This Narayana, Mahanarayana, he expands himself into this material world besides Viraja river as Karanodakshay Vishnu. So Karanodakshay Vishnu is Purushavatar. So from him, as mentioned, Garbhodakshay Vishnu comes, he is also Purusha. And from him, Kshirodakshay Vishnu, he is also Purusha. So therefore, these are all three personalities are Purushavatarats. And Mahanarayana or Mahavishnu is the Lord in Vaikuntha. So Krishna is even superior to them, both of them. So that is according to.
So you said Garbhodakshasai Vishnu and Shirodakshasai Vishnu. Can you help explain kind of some kind of who is Garbhodakshasai Vishnu, who is Shirodakshasai Vishnu?
Yeah. So you're asking to explain the role of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and
who is like you see that picture is there na Garbhodakshasai Vishnu
yeah.
जिनका वो ब्रह्मा वगैरह उनका नावाल से आए हैं.
Yeah.
So he is Garbhodakshasai Vishnu, no?
Yes.
And Shirodakshasai Vishnu means what?
So he is there is a vast ocean called as Karana ocean in the material in the material portion of the Virja river. So there Karanodakshaya Vishnu resides. So from him only the Pradhana will come. Pradhana is Prakriti, material aspect. And by his glance, that Pradhana transforms into Ahankara, Buddhi, Manas, like that 24 elements will come by his glance. So all these 24 elements will combine to form several universes. So this Garbhodakshaya Vishnu that we are seeing is only one universe. That means in our universe there is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Like that, from his hair pores, so many universes are coming. So Karnodakshaya Vishnu is the generator for all these universes. And in one of the universe which we are living, in all these universes, this same Karnodakshaya Vishnu expands as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu in all these universes. So in our universe also, he expanded as Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And from his navel, the lotus stem, the Brahmadi has appeared, and this lotus stem only divided into 14 planetary systems. So is it clear? Little bit.
That is Garbhodakshasai Vishnu.
Yeah, he is Garbhodakshai, but
and similarly Shirodakshasai.
Kshirodaksha Vishnu is that in these 14 planetary systems, there is again one more planet called as Svetadvipa within this universe. In that universe, Lord Garbhodaksha Vishnu enters as Kshirodaksha Vishnu, but at the same time, the same Kshirodaksha Vishnu is acting like a Paramatma in everyone's heart. So in our heart, the Lord resides, that is also Paramatma, who is actually none other than Kshirodaksha Vishnu. He is situated in everyone's heart. So that is Kshirodaksha Vishnu. And he is also resides in one Pala Samudra, which is in the 14 planetary systems. Therefore, he is called as Kshira Udaka Sai. So these words, if you see, the Udaka means water, Shai means lying down, who is lying down. So Kshira Udaka, that means the milk ocean who is lying down, that is Kshirodakshai. Garbhodaka, the Garbha water who is lying Garbhodakshai. Karana water who is lying, that is Karanodakshai. So these are the three Vishnus, three super souls that are responsible for working this material world. They are mainly in relation to this material world. So through this Garbhodaksha Vishnu only, all these incarnations, they will appear. But Krishna is not like that. He is not appearing. He is not one of these incarnations who is coming through Garbhodaksha Vishnu. But he is the origin, and from him, he only expanded as Karanodaksha Vishnu, and he expanded as Garbhodaksha. So that is the thesis that is being explained here.
Okay, okay. So it's essentially one and the same, but different forms of expression.
Correct.
At the will of the Supreme.
Yes, perfect. So he is the same personality, but the amount of he is expressing himself in different various forms, but he is like the one is like original and others are coming from him. And the amount of rasas he will exhibit also may vary according to incarnation to incarnation.
So like Lord Jagannath, we say he is Krishna himself, and we say the expansion of Lord Jagannath is Subhadra Devi and Balabhadra Mahaprabhu and Sudarshan. So those are like extensions. But he has a choice to extend or not to extend, but they're part of him. That is one kind of extension, expansion. Another kind of expansion is kind of prototype of him, but in different forms of expression, like Garbhodaksha Sai and Shirodaksha Sai. Is my understanding correct?
Yeah, correct. So these are like same, they are all Shuddha Sattva, all these personalities which are mentioned, they are all Shuddha Sattva, that means same person expanded into different forms. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, Ananta Rupam. So they are all said to be non-different from Krishna, same personalities, but like different forms and different activities and different features.
And another question, like Brahma and Shiva. So they are also called expansions of Lord Vishnu. Now this Lord Vishnu is different from Lord Krishna in a manner that Golok Vrindavanvasi Lord Krishna, at that level there is no Brahma and Shankar, but Brahma and Shankar are there at the Lord Vishnu, Narayana Vishnu level. Is that understanding correct?
Can you tell me again what you are saying? Brahma
Say, for example, we say there are so many Brahmas. Like sometimes Prabhupada says, there are so many Brahmas. So that so many Brahma, like there are so many Garbhodaksha Sai Vishnu, who I think we also call him Narayana. So like that Brahma is at that level, Garbhodaksha Sai Vishnu level.
No. So Garbhodaksha Vishnu, these three, although they are expansions of them, they are never considered on the level of Brahma and Shiva. They are considered as Vishnu, as a like plenary expansion of Krishna and the Shuddha Sattva only. And Brahma and Shiva, they are distinguished from even from Vishnu. So they are like called as Gunavataras because they come in touch with the modes, but Vishnu never will come in touch with the modes. So the Vishnu expansion is said to be the Shuddha Sattva expansion. So he is considered in a level equal with the Vishnu only, but Brahma is not considered on the same level with the Vishnu.
So level in the sense, like say for example, like a hierarchy. In a hierarchy, there is a say for example Mukesh Ambani. He is the Reliance Group CEO. So he has also his immediate team members. Then below Reliance Industries, there are 5 companies like Reliance Jio, Reliance Retail, Reliance Media, Reliance Life Science, like that. So each business has a CEO. Now, that CEO also has his corresponding immediate team members, HR, finance, technology. Like Mukesh Ambani also has HR, finance, technology. You understand? So that CEO is actually carrying forward Mukesh Ambani's role in a smaller business. But he is like Mukesh Ambani for the largest business, he is for the smaller business. Okay. But at his level, there is also HR head, finance head. So similarly, at a Lord Vishnu Narayana level, so there is a Brahma and there is a Shankar. Level means not at par with him, but as an expansion of him. Is it like as many Garbhodaksha Sai Vishnus are there for each of the Brahmanda or whatever you call it, universe? So that many Brahma and Shankar, as his expansion, are there. Is that understanding right?
Yeah, those many will be there. And but
And at Lord Krishna level, are there also Brahma and Shankar as his expansion?
in Krishna, like he doesn't have like in that mode. Krishna's he doesn't require this creation and annihilation part. So
so that is like Suddha Prema. जो प्रेम भक्ति जिसको बोलते हैं.
There they may exist, but like they will not perform the acts of creation and destruction. They may be devotees or serving the Lord.
Got it. Please carry on. Sorry, I asked so many questions today.
No, it is important to clarify doubts. So maybe we'll stop at this point with understanding Krishna is the source of all incarnations, which is the Paribhasha Sutra. So this is what, because you are all coming from Jagannath Puri, it is very easy to accept these things. But if I'm speaking to Andhra people, it is very difficult for me to speak this. Because
I'm on my way to Lord Jagannath. So I'm in the car listening your Bhagavad class. And I'm going simultaneously when I'm on the road. Driver is driving to Lord Jagannath.
Okay.
From Bhubaneswar.
They are all attached to Balaji, who is like generally they will consider him as Narayana. So for me, it is very difficult to explain this concept. Okay.
So thank you, Prabhu. You are very good. I have many questions, but I don't want to ask too many questions on the same day. But it's good that we clarified many things. Next week, let me try. I'm trying because you have been an employee, so you have worked in companies. You know what a struggle to keep pace with the job and at the same time chant 16 mala. So those parts I'll discuss with you next week.
Okay. Next week, okay, we'll decide at that. I may be
next Sunday.
Next Sunday,
Sunday जो 7 o'clock का आपका ना वही रखेंगे 1 घंटा आपका ज्यादा टाइम डिसरप्ट नहीं करेंगे so that it's predictable for you and it's predictable for us. And when I was listening today, some people were listening with me, one architect and another finance kind of. He's doing a business now, but he's originally from London School of Economics. So they both are listening. So they were saying, can we also be part of this? I said, this is generally for our family. Prabhuji has given some time. I'll check with him. Otherwise, he conducts Bhagavat classes I'll include you in that. I'll get you included. That's what I told them. So they are Marwadis. So by nature, they are all vegetarian and Krishna Bhakta. So they want to kind of get a more systematic way of learning.
Yeah, fine. If it is like we can include them.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji, that's all from my side. If Mataji has any questions or any response.
Oh, I am fully satisfied.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Then, okay. Thank you, Prabhu and Mataji. We'll end here. Then there are Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.